If the lighter side it brings, it's the RNG of things. But when you look inside, is it worth the ride? As a matter of fact, yes. I've heard it said that Metroid Prime is the perfect video game, a pure equilibrium for everything that calls itself playable media. It is both super hard and super easy to argue both sides. Hello the peoples, my name is Factor, an RNG Factor, and today we're looking at something iconic and something I actually didn't grow up with. I only found it when it was on the trilogy for the Wii. Is Metroid Prime a good video game? Oh, absolutely, there's no question about it. Is it perfect? Honestly, it's a matter of perspective. It very well can be a perfect game with the right eyes. However, Prime also has room for all different sides of playstyles. It has a lot of hases, and it has a lot of doesn't hases. And if I hazard a guess, a good chunk of you already know what Metroid Prime is. On the other hand, I need to pad out for 15 minutes, so a brief summary, here we go. Metroid Prime is a first-person action exploration puzzle video game from Nintendo. See? Told you it was brief. What sets Metroid apart, though, is the sole exploration, full of monsters. As a girl... Oh, come on. In a strange, never-before-seen place. God! In a first-person shooter, in a mecha suit with a perfect environmental music, in a 3D Metroidvania world. Are we good? We good? We good? I think we're good. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the video. The first-person perspective may drive a few people off because it's a FPS on the Wii. How is this possible, you may ask? Well, you move with the nunchuck and you aim with the Wiimote to shoot. But how do you move the camera? You move the cursor to the end of the screen, and then you start looking that way. I'm out! Wait, no, hold on. It's at least better than the GameCube version. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. It has the GameCube controller, and it's on the GameCube. It is obviously superior. I do! I swear I do! And you know what? I like the controls way better than the GameCube version. In that one, you have to like hold a button and then look around the screen. I mean, like you could look around with the C stick, but then in order to be specific, you'd have to like hold it and stay in place and move around. You can do that and move at the same time on the Wii. Ew, but Wii jank. Well, yeah, there's Wii jank, and it's super annoying when you're trying to switch weapons really quick, or then your cursor goes off screen and you have to like flick it back on the screen. But with practice, you can maneuver with the best, and they already went back to the GameCube version. To be fair, each version has their ups and downs. One big bonus for the Wii is the ability to just hop by yanking the Wiimote up. You can move in certain sections with this super quick, and I'm also playing on the Wii U. I already lost half of you, didn't I? Hey, guys, at least the Wii U actually has a virtual console. I can play Pokemon Mystery Sky on the Wii U. You can't do that on the Switch. You only got the DX version, which honestly I haven't tried yet. I should though. Anyway, let's get back on topic. So, this game is Stockholm Syndrome. The music. It's fine. The first playthrough of this game with almost anyone is usually about the same. Run around, get lost, wait for the little map hint, and then go to the spot. However, if you've played the game and you know more of where to go, there's a lot less backtracking because the game, funnily enough, is structured in a way that backtracking leads to power-ups and getting to the next key or item or gadget to, go further into the game. And yeah, there is a lot of backtracking. I especially noticed this on the second-ish playthrough I did on hard mode, where I got about halfway through and then I got a little annoyed and bored, and because I'd already just played the game and stopped. But what else I noticed is that when I got a new progression item, the game led me to rooms where I knew there was like a missile expansion or an energy tank, meaning the backtracking became more of like aha moments rather than where the heck do I go every 20 minutes. I've been playing this game for years now at this point on the Wii, and every time I come back to it, I love it just a little bit more. This time, however, I finally got the coveted 100% completion. Yes, thank you. Let me tell you this though, you don't need to scan every yellow square that you come across. I didn't know this. You just need to scan every red square and new enemy you come across, as well as the wavy wall bits for Chozo lore. I thought you literally had to scan everything in the game for 100%, based on the way my friends and people on YouTube explained it. But with every guide I came across, the more it came clear that the only missable things in the game were like 9 enemies, a pirate data, 3 research scans, and the bosses. Everything else you can find. I really wish I knew this years ago instead of letting the fear of missing one scan ruin all the fun. And speaking of fun, there's a few ways to enjoy this. Let's categorize them as the casual playthrough, the completionist, and the speedrunner. But isn't that like every game? No. For this particular game, after 100%ing it and playing a bit on hard mode and looking at speedruns, I can safely say that the best way to play this game is casually. Listen, what do you think I am, some sort of gatekeeper? You don't have to 100% this and brag to your friends about it, because this game is easy as crap, A, and B, you can just look up the endings on YouTube. They explain it in Prime 2 enough anyway, so whatever. Man, when I started the hard playthrough, it was so nice not having to worry about finding scans or watching the game in scan mode. I was finding secrets every now and then and not constantly looking at my checklist of things I've already done. Just enjoying the game. It honestly was some of the most fun I've had in a Prime game in a long time. Plus, enemies actually hit you and your life bar goes down. Admittedly, there was a few enemies that took way too long to kill. Looking at you, Chozo ghosts. And speaking of easy peasy lemons be squeezy, guess what? This game is basically a power fantasy. If you start collecting enough stuff, nothing kills you. They can't even touch you. You have so much life at the end of the game, it's not even funny. Like, it's literally not even funny after a while. I stopped killing enemies between rooms because I didn't have to. It was like, well, I got most of the scans, like, why even bother? In fact, I died twice in the game. Both were from a combination of lava and a lack of caring. Let's jump to bosses real quick. Each one is basically find new item, kill boss with it. It's like the opposite of Pandora's Tower. Find some splody ball bombs, kill the next boss with it. Got a new visor? Kill the next boss with it. Find a lampshade? Kill the next boss with it. And because you're a tank, none of them really stand out. Because why should they? It's kind of disappointing. They're so easy to read, too. A sign of a good boss is having some sort of impact on the game, either by being unique, or by looking surprising, or by being difficult to get past. In this one, you're mainly fighting aliens. And rock. I'm gonna jump into the gaming triangle because there's points about the gameplay and the story and the graphics that really help emphasize what kind of game this is. First off, let's talk about the story. There is none. What? You think I'm joking? Okay, I'm slightly joking. You're Samus Aran, get a contract to kill, there's Metroid, pirates are there, bunch of Phazon, kill, big Phazon issue, the end. But the lore! Yeah, you can scan the things for sentences, and there's like a million of them, but by the end of it, you're just scanning them so they stop popping out when you're in scan mode. Plus, it's only like a few sentences anyway, and the necessary scans are usually like, found Phazons. Phazon's bad, but we're gonna try and make it badder by killing everyone else with it. It's kind of like Dark Souls in a sense, but not in the way you're thinking. Where in Dark Souls, all the story is in the items, and this one, all the story is in the scans, you know. But the difference between this one and the other one is in Dark Souls, everything can kill you, and everything will come after you, and I can't help with the groceries right now, Mom, I'm gonna die! Graphics. Well, look at them. I mean, this is a freaking Wii game. There's a ton of PC games that don't even look this good. The animations can be funky at times. Then there's the bit where she kind of takes off her helmet. Ah! Okay, maybe they're a bit dated. But like, come on. Prime came out on the GameCube in like, what, 2004? Hold on. November 17th, 2002 in America. Holy crap. The trilogy came out in August 2009, so that's probably why the game looks as good as it is. And Prime 2 came out in November. And Prime 3 came out in August. Guys, Metroid Prime 4 in fall! Get your tinfoil hats and red string! Finally, the gameplay. I'm not gonna waste your time on this one, the dot goes here. Metroid puts the game in gameplay. You explore the world, find stuff, get stronger, get more stuff, fight bosses, jump and shoot with the best of them, with very few transitions to speak of. Which brings us to the big one. It's one I've mentioned before, but it just really needed to be addressed and elaborated on. Backtracking. This tiny giant thing is what makes or breaks the game for anyone. In fact, let me paint you a picture. First we need a room. So we're in the middle and we can go north, south, east, or west. But actually we can only go west. West is the only one available to go, so we're gonna have to go to that one first. Now let's say that when you head west, you suddenly find yourself being in a slow of boring, uninteresting, confusing, annoying garbage to get some boring key, and you get lost like 4 minutes in and you have to look up a solution for it. At the end you get a key, and then you turn around and you have to go through all that crap again just to get to the center to continue. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? Makes you want to turn off the game like immediately. Let's try that again. Let's say that you get back to the center and you unlock the north direction because the other two have gaps that you can't quite get across. You enter this one and it's actually an interlocking raceway with a mini futuristic cart that speeds through everything. However, some of the raceway is broken, and you run into a few dead ends that you just can't get across, and in the middle of some of these gaps, there's a few upgrades. So you turn around and you keep going and you find other paths, and eventually you find your way to the goal. This time around, it's a power-up that gives you the power to jump while you're in the cart. Your mind races because you know there's a few upgrades that you can get using your new ability, so you immediately start going back out there, and about halfway through the track, a boss appears! It throws a new attack out while you're driving, and you have to hide in certain parts of the tracks because I made that up. And you have to get around it while it's recharging, and you have to keep going to certain sections of the map that you know are clear. And you'll notice that while it's recharging, there's certain parts that you can jump onto. So you jump onto its back, and then you hit its power source, or whatever that might be, and then you win! Yeah, you win! Yeah! For your victory now, you get to keep the cart and use it anywhere, and have the ability to jump, which means you can go back and clear the other places. You see the difference in backtracking? One is a complete mess. It's a slog and a time-consuming grind. The other one keeps you into the action, and like, it engages you and keeps you going, even though it has a few obstacles that you have to get by, but it gives you elements to keep you going. Metroid Prime has both of these. Some areas are a slog to run to, and you have to go through a few sections of the world map just to get a key to open a door to where you just were. I'm looking at you, Fendora Drifts, you salty demon you. But it also has backtracking where you discover items and upgrades naturally, and the progression is super nice and convenient. So is Metroid Prime a perfect game? Well, it's perfect for some. It really depends on your patience and problem-solving skills and willingness to backtrack after going into the drowned frigate underwater, and you go all the way to the bottom and you have to grind all the way back up because you forgot the stupid gravity suit.